Dear viewers, everybody knows about Rotary clubs, but do we know that Rotary Club of Bangalore is one of the oldest clubs? To speak about the Platinum Jubilee and the club itself and also its activities, I have with me today the current president of Rotary Club Bangalore. Warm welcome to the show, Mr. Vijaykumar.
Thank you very much.
Isn't it an honor to be the president when the club is celebrating its 75th year?
Sure, it is a wonderful opportunity for me, as well as a great honor to be part of a club that has such a wonderful and illustrious history behind it.
Okay, but this Bangalore club was started in 1934.
1934, that's right.
And this is the Platinum Jubilee year.
This is the Platinum Jubilee year. In fact, we are on the 75th year.
Okay, so how special do you feel about it? Because it's not just that the Rotary clubs are special, not just the concept of Rotary club is special, but even the Bangalore club being so old and having a legacy of itself.
That's right. In fact, it's a very special year for us for several reasons, not just one. One of the reasons is we are the oldest club in Bangalore. We started in 1934. We were the first to start in the state of Karnataka and probably the fourth or fifth club in India. So that makes it a very old club. Secondly, we've had very many eminent people head this club as presidents in the early years. Notably among them is Padma Bhushan M.S. Thakur, who was one of our presidents. Earlier to him, we had Dr. Homi J. Baba, who was our president, you know, the man who started the atomic energy research and the nuclear program for India. We were fortunate to have him as our president. And subsequent to them, we've had many well-known people of Bangalore, Dr. M.S. Mahadevan, Dr. Mahadevan, who is one of our presidents, and several others who were the head of our institution for many years.
Okay, but the world is very different today. I mean, it's not like when it was started in 1934, but now people have different priorities and you don't really need to network through a Rotary club. But do you think that now you set your priorities in a different direction than just to meet people and share common interests and common goals?
Agreed. In 1934, when we started, or even when the Rotary movement started in almost 110 years ago, the objective was a little different from what it is now. A lot has happened in 100 years. But primarily, the club world over, Rotary clubs world over, constantly focus on issues that confront society. And what is it we as a club that is well networked and even global in nature, what is it we can do to pitch in and bring back some balance to society? That's what Rotary is all about.
Okay.
Of course, as you mentioned, it is also a network of friends, of professionals, people who are well settled in society. It gives them an opportunity to interact, to fraternize, to build on their professions. But above all of this, our goal and objective is to focus on what we can do for society, and I believe that we are doing a lot towards that.
It looks like a closed-knit family, but at the same time, sometimes it looks very exclusive. Is it because many people have not even such interest to join the club, or you have kept it so exclusive?
Well, let me put it in a different perspective. I don't deny that it's an exclusive fraternity, but if you go with the principle that Rotary has to engage with some service to society and be focused in what it needs to do in the community, then you need to pick and choose people who have similar visions, who have similar thought processes, and who all believe that collectively we can do a good job. Now, to give you an example, who is a qualified person that can join Rotary? Someone who is already well settled in life, someone who has a good profession going, who has a fairly stable family with children who are also in their respective educations or in their schooling or colleges and settled. So he has come to a point in his life where he thinks, I have done all this, what else can I do? I have got so much from society through my years, isn't it time, I think, about doing something for society? Now we try to bring into Rotary as many people as possible who think on these lines, who believe in this, who think that yes. And there is also an opportunity here for people to collectively do something together, because as you know, what you can achieve as an individual is a lot less when you put your heads and resources together. What you can do as a collective operation is something that's phenomenal.
Okay, but particularly when you see most people in Rotary who've been there for a very long time and very few new faces apart from the children of the old members, do you feel that it's time that actually you reached out to more people? It's not that there aren't many people who can share your vision and your goals, and people who can also work with you and do much more for the society, but is it because, you know, I mean, there is some kind of an aloofness somewhere that may have prevented, you know, ordinary people to have made this foray into this movement?
No, I don't think so, because one part of what you say is true in the sense that we have children of Rotarians also getting into the organization, because they have been exposed to life within Rotary for quite a while, and therefore they come to believe in the objects and the principles of Rotary, and therefore it's a natural
because sometimes
transition.
it looks almost hereditary.
Not really.
No, it is not. But you know, I mean, it's a Rotary family, because you know,
with respect to our club, if you look at the statistics, we have. Our club has a membership of about 240 people.
That is all.
That's quite a big number. We are we are the third largest club in India.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big number, and we have 10% growth every year with 30-40 new members joining in, which is a significant number, and all of them are not children of Rotarians. They come from different walks of society.
Okay.
And we also have people leaving Rotary for the simple reason that when they get into Rotary, they know how hard they need to work to make the institution of Rotary a huge success. And many of them feel that their vocations, their professions and their family lives sometimes doesn't give them the time and the energy that they need to subscribe to Rotary. So some of them move out. So eventually we have a core group of people who constantly work towards this objective.
Okay, but you also pay a lot of attention to discipline, your regimen rather.
Right.
I mean, the way you conduct your meetings, to who does what, to everything, right?
It is a very well organized, very disciplined institution. We have a system where the incoming president is chosen as far as 3 years earlier, where he is the vice president, then he becomes the president-elect, and finally the president in the third year. This gives all these officers opportunities to familiarize themselves with the workings of Rotary. They know the system, they know the processes, so that finally when they do assume the office of the president, they are well versed with what needs to be done to run that office efficiently.
Okay.
So there's a lot of preparation going, and we also believe that with regard to our meetings, we meet every Monday, once a week we meet, and we have very strict regulatory timings when the meetings begin and when they close. We also believe that somebody who cannot subject himself to discipline cannot deliver to public service.
Okay, but what is the process that you put someone through to induct the person as a member?
If you look at the Rotary tree or the hierarchy, you have a president with a board of directors. We focus mainly on 4 avenues of service, which is the international service, the community service, the vocational service, and the club service. All these are different aspects of Rotary where you need to focus and develop. Now we have a director who is in charge of each of these services. Under each director we have several subcommittees which are headed by chairman and co-chairman. It is their job to prepare and plan projects for the year well before the year actually begins. For example, if our Rotary year begins on the 1st of July, we have the board elect, which is supposed to come into office on the 1st of July, meeting even 3 months before their year actually begins, with all the chairmen and co-chairmen organizing plans, projects and events for the year with budgets and with targets. So when all of this is put into place, they get the opportunity to run these programs through the year with members they have chosen to work on their respective committees. So it's a very well organized, decentralized program where every subcommittee and committee knows fully well what their targets are and what they need to achieve through the year. And it's a system that works wonderfully well.
I was asking as to how you induct a person as a member. I mean, is it like somebody recommends somebody to become a member?
Well,
or
in
somebody
Rotary,
applies and, you know,
absolutely. In Rotary, the principle that we follow is to extend membership by invitation.
Okay.
By invitation. In fact, somebody cannot walk into the club and say, I would like to join Rotary. Though in some cases, what happens is when people show their interest in Rotary, we invite them to come and attend our meetings.
Okay.
They come on Mondays when our meetings are in progress. They watch what we do. They learn about the projects that Rotary undertakes. They also get to meet people. And we also get to know them. We interact with them and we learn about them a little more over the 4 or 6 weeks that they attend our club meetings. And finally, if we do think that this is somebody who will answer our needs for Rotary's objectives, then we extend an invitation. We ask him to fill in a form and
But in spite of all that, there have been instances when some black sheep have gotten into the club. Because, you know, you've been quite careful about the way you conduct the activities as to how you project yourselves, to what your objectives are, to your noble goals, to your service, to everything. But sometimes people come with the only intention of meeting people and furthering their business or to feed their own selfish needs. Could that be the reason why perhaps in some circles people have, though you have been into service quite regularly and in a very conspicuous manner, that people could just look at some people and decide as to no, I mean, it's just a club of people who are well-to-do in life and who have some time to spare and who are just enjoying.
Well, this is a perception that some people who don't know Rotary fully well do have. And it is also true, while there is no bar from someone getting into Rotary to further his profession or make contacts or build on his social
But there was that
network.
original purpose too, to network,
That was
right?
also there. It was there to network.
Yeah.
See that Rotary clubs perform differently in different countries. I'll come to that in a moment. But while this is also an opportunity for you, we constantly try to emphasize that that is not the end all of Rotary. The objective of Rotary is something else. And in the process, if you do happen to build friendships, if you happen to expand your fraternity, if you happen to further your profession,
if you can benefit from that
there
friendship,
is a spillover while being in Rotary, then it's most welcome. It's perfectly all right.
But that should not be the only objective.
Perfect. You've said it right. So that should not be objective. So what happens is over a period of time, we do find that some join Rotary with this narrow perspective, and some of them don't continue because eventually the club realizes that they don't subscribe to all that you want them to do for Rotary. So this does happen. It does happen.
But you emphasize a lot
But
on
we
service.
do emphasize a lot, and we have a careful process through which all these prospective Rotarians go through an induction program where many of our senior Rotarians do call them to the clubs. We lecture to them about what Rotary is all about. We show them examples of our projects and how people get involved. We also indicate to them very clearly and in very comprehensive terms.
Do you remember that there were a lot of Rotary activities, but now you may not see as much as you may actually expect?
I don't think so. You see, if you give me a couple of minutes, I'd like to elaborate on that. World over, the Rotary movement is growing. So that's a clear indication that Rotary is growing. The number of clubs worldwide is also growing every year. So it's a huge number, the number of clubs that get chartered and which begin every year in different parts of the world. It's posting growth. So that's a visible factor. We have 1.3 million members worldwide, and those numbers are growing, especially in the Asia Pacific region. We also believe that more and more people are willing to do something for society. And if you look at the project sizes that we have over the last few years, when compared to what size of projects we undertook 15 years ago or 20 years ago, we find that more investments are being made, these projects are more significant, they're more meaningful, and they touch society in a much more impactful manner.
Okay, but what are the large projects that you're involved in now?
The Rotary Club of Bangalore, of which I am the president, we have two very significant projects. I'm sure you would have heard of both of them. One of our landmark projects is the Rotary TTK Blood Bank, which is called the Bangalore Medical Services Trust, and the blood bank is called the Rotary TTK Blood Bank. It is by far the finest blood bank in South India. It is set up somewhere close to the HAL airport near Tippasandra. They dispense 20,000 plus bottles of blood annually. A lot of it goes to government hospitals, to ESI hospitals, and to private hospitals throughout the city. It's one of the few blood banks that is fully regulated with stringent testing procedures that gives clean and purified blood to all the patients wherever they need it. And it's a wonderful project. The Karnataka government has appreciated this blood bank. They've even recently secured an award for their meritorious and commendable service. It's a great project. We are very happy to be associated with it. We are doing it in partnership with the TTK group, therefore it's called the Rotary TTK Blood Bank. They are part of the Bangalore Medical Services Trust, and Dr. Lata Jagannathan, who heads the institution, she and her family have been instrumental in bringing this up. It's a wonderful project. We are very proud of it. And today they are expanding their research into stem cell research, bone marrow registries and things like that, all of which will be a great help to the medical field.
Okay, and the second project?
The second one is a school that we are running in a village called Nagadeva, which is located behind the Bangalore University. It's a lower, weaker segment area, lower income group area. When we started the school 20 plus years ago, we just had a small classroom. The land was bought by the Rotary in order to further education and literacy. Today we have 500 children studying there. All of it is taken care of by Rotary with another trust in collaboration called the Janani Trust. And this year, in the Platinum Jubilee year, we will expand the school to accommodate 950 children at a cost of approximately 2 crores.
Okay, but Rotary is not there just for service, but it's also for self-improvement for members to join in. But what kind of...
in fact, when you do so much service, when you have so much empathy for the community, when you involve...
You become a better person.
Absolutely, isn't it? Isn't it? Don't you grow and evolve in that process? That's what happens to you.
But you get a chance to cultivate leadership also.
Absolutely.
Because everything is done in a very systematic manner. You get to learn it, not just be it. So do you think that everybody's aspiration would be to become the president of a club that he serves?
Well, people do aspire to become the president of a club.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy in the sense it's a very demanding office. Therefore, those who aspire to become the president and those who are willing should also be aware of the responsibilities of that office before they assume it. So we have many people in our club who are already qualified in that sense, who are capable of becoming presidents, but then they have to pick the time when they want to be presidents, because it must give them enough time away from their responsibilities to their professions, their vocations and their family, and then say, this is the year when I am available, when I am able and I am capable and I have the structure. So this is how Rotary runs.
Okay, but you also expose your members to a lot of outside knowledge. You invite people to speak to them. There's a lot of interaction. It's not just a social club where people,
in fact,
people get together to
not
just
at
have
all
a
a
meal.
Social club. It's not at all a social club in that sense. Though we have evenings where the families get together, we have a bit of fellowship, we have dinners organized, but that is part of the process. That is not the process. You see, so in that sense, we are different from any other social club, where entertainment, family gatherings, dinners and all of that is the agenda. Here, that
but
is
when you talk about the fellowship, or the brotherhood? Is it more like a friendship that you want to further, or is it like, you know, it's a very professional kind of thing? I want to get into this club, and so you see I've got membership, so I need to do a few things and I do it dutifully. Or look, I become part of the club, so every other member too is part of my, what do you say?
Fraternity.
Fraternity.
Yes, that's how it is, because there is,
I mean,
unlike many other offices.
Do you actually conduct yourself that way, that you interact with one another, and you keep in touch, you
we
discuss?
do that. In fact, some of our
you share your problems.
Some of our best friendships are all built within Rotary, because we've been with them for years and years, and we get to know them, their families, their children, all very well, and we have wonderful people in Rotary, and I think it's a great fraternity. And when compared to other institutions or organizations, there's nothing great as a status here if you assume an office.
But Rotarians certainly feel very important about being Rotarians, right?
People are proud of it because
Rotarians understand the importance of being Rotarians. May not be the others outside there.
Naturally, a Rotarian takes pride in the fact that he is part of a global organization that is doing so much work worldwide, and who wouldn't be proud of it? As a Rotarian, I would take pride in the fact that the Rotary International, which is the parent organization, is the largest NGO in the world.
Okay.
It is the largest NGO in the world. It's bigger than the Ford Foundation or the Bill Gates Foundation or any other foundation that you can think of. And with 30 to 35,000 clubs worldwide, there is no place on earth where we are not working, where we don't have an impact.
Okay, but in some cases when individuals have a big and flourishing business, even then they would rather consider being Rotarians as a more important aspect of their lives than even running their business as at a personal space.
Well, there are people who join, who become heads of the clubs once they have accomplished all that they want to in their business, and then they say, yes, now I have time to devote to Rotary. I think I can achieve something here. I have my ideas, I have my plans. I can put all of them into motion, and therefore some of them do take a lot of time off from their professions and their work and give a lot to Rotary. Even that does happen.
Okay. So what do you plan to do this year, the 75th year? You've
Well,
already kick-started the activities, haven't you?
We've kick-started our Platinum Jubilee year in October.
Okay.
And we have plenty of things going. One of the major projects, of course, is the Nagadeva School, for which we did a fundraiser. We gathered plenty of funds, and the school will finish around the same time next year, when all the classrooms, the auditorium, the playground will all be completed to accommodate 900 children. That's a significant project. Now, apart from that, the project for this year is, there is a small village called Sakalwara on Banerghatta Road, which is close to the National Park. That school has about 200 children and only 3 classrooms now. We are building 4 more classrooms for them. And we are expanding the facilities in the washroom and at the toilet area, and securing it with proper clean water and a septic tank and sanitation, so that all the children will have clean drinking water plus facilities for the toilet. That's another program that we are doing. And of course, we have a request from our blood bank for adding some equipment during the year to further their work, which we will also be doing. These are 3 or 4 major projects, but over and above that, there are other projects that happen continuously, with where we do medical camps, where we do blood collection drives, where we have training programs in different vocations for carpenters and plumbers and things like that. We have very important seminars on social responsibility, and we recently conducted one during the Platinum Jubilee year. Another very big event for us that touches the hearts of all Rotarians is the National Wheelchair Games, which we will be conducting in the month of February next year. We did that on 2 occasions earlier. This is done at a gap of 2 years. Every alternate year we run this program. It's very close to our heart, because the National Wheelchair Games is an event where over 800 participants come from all over India.
Okay.
This games is confined to those people who are in wheelchairs.
Okay.
A lot of them are veterans of the Kargil war,
Oh.
people who participated in the
Okay.
Indo-Pak war, and people who have been fighting insurgents and working in the borders in Kashmir, etc. So all of them find this a great opportunity to reunite. They come from different parts of India. They come from Assam, they come from Pune, they come from
You
Chandigarh.
take care of everything.
All of them are housed at the Kantirwa stadium.
Okay.
We have a sponsor who funds us to the extent of 15 to 20 lakhs to run this.
Okay.
And it's a great event spread over 5-6 days,
Okay.
almost lasting a week. And they have a ball of an event.
Okay.
And for us, we feel very satisfied bringing all these friends together, because we tend to think of the army only in times of war.
Not after that.
We don't think much about them in peacetime.
Okay.
And once the war is over, and when many of them have moved ahead and some of them are maimed or they are injured and they have lives of their own to lead, we think that bringing them together in sport is a wonderful experience for them and
So
for
fulfilling,
us.
actually.
So it's a very fulfilling. You have the right word.
See, haven't you ever felt the need to connect with the general public who may not actually know much about Rotary clubs? Because unless people know what you do, I mean, nowadays people are quite cagey, quite worried also, or rather quite careful about from where they take help to.
Correct.
But you have such a great organization, and many people have just heard the name and they know that some rich and successful people are members of that club, but really may not know the objectives,
The
or
work
the
that we
goals,
do.
or
You're
the,
right,
or the strength of the organization, or the value system and everything. I mean, unless you reach out, don't you think this is the right opportunity for you during this Platinum Jubilee
Certainly,
year?
absolutely. In fact, we went on 1 or 2 initiatives to do exactly this, to take our message to the public and to publicize what we do. I don't know whether you attended or viewed a film in the last 2 weeks. We ran a very short 70-second documentary that preceded the main film in all the theaters, PVR, Vision Cinemas and Innovative Multiplex, that just said you are here to witness a movie, but before that we want to talk to you about Rotary. And then we threw up on the screen all the things that we do: literacy, hunger alleviation, education for children in the weaker segments, housing during tsunami, and midday meal scheme. Everything came up and said, this is what Rotary is all about, this is what we do. Visit our website, meet us at number 20 Laval Road. It was a very short film that was run twice, 70 seconds. And I'm sure it reached out to thousands of people. In fact, we thought about it the way you did, that we must take this message to the general public and convey to them something about what we do. I believe it will have an impact. See, we don't tend to publicize as much because today, when compared to the earlier years, we have 45 clubs in Bangalore itself. And when everybody goes to the press and they want them to relate,
cacophony.
Exactly. So the press is a bit skeptical. They say, okay, here's another Rotary picture, and so. So I think over a period of time, people will do learn, and a meaningful program like this, when you question us about what exactly we do, and how effective the organization is, and how we really reach out to the public, I think this will serve to educate people and then let them know more about what we are doing. I think it's a wonderful idea.
I must congratulate you for your club completing 75 years next year, right? And this is the 75th year, and you being the president of the club in this momentous year. Thank you very much for having come to this show.